What's up everyone? In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing all of my Showa era Godzilla figures. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. So we're going to be going in movie film order, so we might as well start with Godzilla 1954. So obviously, the only character that I have for Godzilla 1954 is the only character that appears in the movie, and that is Godzilla. Right here, I have two Godzilla figures. One of them is the Bandai Movie Monster Series 1954, and the other one is the Bandai Creations. Now, these figures are both very, very cool. They both have pretty good articulation. The paintwork on both of them is pretty decent. Well, the one on the Bandai Creations is probably better than the Bandai Movie Monster Series one, which is pretty plain. But they're both really cool. I feel like the Bandai Movie Monster Series one has the better sculpt depicting Godzilla 1954 than the Bandai Creations one. But like I said, these are both very awesome figures, and you should definitely pick them up for your collection. And now next up is from Godzilla Raids again, and that is Godzilla 1995. So as you guys should know, there is two kaiju that appear in Godzilla Raids again, Godzilla and Anguirus. But I only have Godzilla 1955. I haven't picked up Anguirus yet. I don't know if I'm going to, because he is pretty expensive from what I've seen on him. But this figure is still really awesome. It depicts Godzilla 1955 really well with the sharp teeth. He has some pretty decent articulation. He also has some pretty good detailing, and I really love this figure. Alright guys, and the next figure is Rodan 1956. And this figure is very awesome. Playmates did a very good job at making a classic Rodan figure, and this is why they should continue the classic line. But this figure is very awesome. It has some pretty nice paint job, and it looks just like Rodan 1956, which is really awesome. He doesn't have that much articulation. All he can move on is his head. He is still a very awesome figure, and I definitely recommend picking him up. And the next figure is very awesome. It is Godzilla 1964. Now, this figure is from Godzilla, from Mothra versus Godzilla, and yes, I know that Mothra is also in this movie, but I do not have her, which stinks. Right here, we have Godzilla 1964, which is an extremely awesome figure because I love this suit of Godzilla. He looks really cool. He looks very menacing. This figure has some pretty good articulation. It has head swivel, which is really good, and it has a pretty decent paint work. And it also has some very good detail as well. I really love this figure, and I definitely recommend you guys picking it up for your collection. Alright guys, and the next figure, I don't think he's in a movie with Godzilla for this version, but it is Baragon 1965. Now, like I said before, I don't think this version of Baragon is in a Godzilla movie. The figure is very awesome. He has some pretty good articulation. He looks like Baragon from 1965. I've never seen this movie, but he looks really cool. He has a lot of good detailing. He has like little bumps all over him, and then a nice little armored chest thing. A nice detail on his chest and underbelly, which is really cool. But yeah, this figure is awesome, and I definitely recommend you guys picking him up for your collection. Alright guys, and the next figure is very cool. It is Ebirah 1966. Now, this figure is from Ebirah Horror of the Deep. I'm pretty sure there is more than just Ebirah in this movie. I know Godzilla is in this movie, but I do not have him. This is a very awesome figure because it is one of those kaiju that you really wouldn't think that they would make, but it's here now. And it has very good detailing, and it has very good paint job. As you guys can see, it's basically just a big lobster, which is really awesome. And it has some pretty decent articulation, but not the best. But yeah, this figure is very awesome, and it's definitely worth adding into your collection. Alright guys, and the next figure is the best figure ever. It is Minella. Yep, I have Minella in my collection, and this Minella figure is from Son of Godzilla with Minella. Minella is very awesome, has some pretty good articulation for being a little guy, I guess. He's not that little though, this figure. He has some pretty good paint work. He wasn't originally supposed to have these like dust spots on his skin, but they ended up just giving him some dirt on him. The figure is very awesome, and I'm very happy to have it in the collection. Alright guys, and the next figure is Gorosaurus 1968. Yeah guys, this is Gorosaurus. I don't think he's been in any other movies, so I don't know why I said 1968. Pretty sure there's only been one Gorosaurus, but he is from Destroy All Monsters, which is really cool. This is very, very cool figure. I really like Gorosaurus. I got him right when he went up on the Godzilla store, because he is awesome. He has some pretty good articulation, and he has a pretty good paint job, and he's basically like a T-Rex. But yeah, he's a very, very, very cool character, and I definitely recommend you guys picking him up for your collection. Alright guys, now the next figure is Hedorah 1971. Now this figure is really cool because it comes from Godzilla vs. the Smogmons. This figure is awesome. It has very good detailing, some pretty decent articulation, and it has a very good paint job. This figure is very, very awesome, and I hope I can get that Godzilla to go along with it because I think they'll look really cool next to each other. And she is definitely worth adding into your collection. Okay guys, and the next figure is Gigan 1972. This figure is very awesome. It comes from Godzilla vs. Gigan. This figure is still very, very awesome. I like it a lot. I'm pretty sure I have a figure coming that is from this movie. I'm not going to spoil it. I might say it at the end of the video, but I don't know if it's from a different movie or from this movie. We'll have to wait and see. I'll figure it out by the end of this video. But yeah, this figure is very awesome. I love Gigan as a character. He's very awesome. I love the paint job on this figure. It looks really good. Bandai nailed it. That's some pretty good articulation, as you guys can see. And yeah, I just really love this figure. Alright guys, now the next figure we're going to be taking a look at is Megalon from Godzilla vs. Megalon. This is a very awesome figure of Megalon. It is the only Megalon figure I have in the collection, and I'm pretty sure it's one of the only Megalon figures out there. Actually, scratch that. There is probably a decent amount of Megalon figures out there, and it's also not my only Megalon figure in the collection. I have another one, but I'm not going to show it off. But this is a very cool Megalon figure. It has some pretty good articulation. I just love Megalon as a character. He comes from Godzilla vs. Megalon. I actually really like that movie. Megalon is super cool. Love the detailing on this figure. I love the paintwork on the eyes. It looks really awesome. And yeah, Megalon is just a great character. Alright guys, and that leads us into our next figure, which is Godzilla 1974. Guys, this figure is very awesome. It comes from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, which is a pretty decent movie from what I remember. I really love this design of Godzilla. He looks really cool. I love his paint job on him. This is the newest one, the reissue that just came out, like, pretty sure a couple months ago or maybe a month ago. I don't know. It's really cool. It has very good articulation. This figure just looks awesome. I do have a figure on the way that is from this movie. Very awesome. Definitely recommend you guys picking it up for your collection. Alright guys, and to end the video, I finally have a Godzilla movie where I have more than two characters. And that is Godzilla 1975 and Mechagodzilla 1975. These figures are very awesome. They're from Terror of Mechagodzilla. We got Mechagodzilla 2 and Godzilla 1975. Finally, a movie from the Showa era that I have more than two figures from. So, these are very awesome figures. They both have pretty decent articulation, and they both have pretty good paint job. They do look very well next to each other. We're happy to have both of these figures, and they are both very, very awesome figures. Alright guys, and that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to please like, share, and subscribe if you have not yet. Make sure to hit the bell to turn on post notifications so you'll never miss another video. This has been ErwinGoG14 signing out. Bye guys, and make sure to stay tuned for the Dreambox 5 set.